Here are 10 tips and tricks for upper numbers. Let me show you how you can get those bold lines around your cells in numbers for your Mac. So here I am in my table 1, I got those default lines. Be sure that the correct table is selected and then head to the cell format menu on the right. Not the table itself, but the cell. From here, select all borders, and now you can change the border style. So line, line color, and finally the thickness of the line. Take a look. All of the cells are affected by that. Let's undo and try again with just few cells selected. So I can select just few cells manually with my mouse, and again cell menu, all lines, and now I can make those here thicker in the middle of existing table. So the common mistake is people just stay in the table menu and look at the table outline. That's only the outside line. It will only change your outside line. So you cannot use that to make any other line bolder or thicker. So be sure you switch from table to cell. If you are in the cell, then you can decide that you want to affect all of the lines. That's this button here, all borders. With this selected, you can now modify colors, thickness, whatever you like, but you need to be sure all borders are selected. Alright, I hope this was helpful, and keep in mind you can play with just certain borders as well, like outside, inside, left and right. Let me show you how we can apply conditional formatting in numbers for your Mac. So here I am, and I'm going to select part of this table. So I want math, science, and English scores to be selected. With certain cells selected, we can now go to the format section on the right side and be sure you change to cell formatting. You will see this big button here called conditional highlighting. From here we can create a rule. So if the number is greater than, let's say in our case 80, fill it green. Take a look, they got some pre-made options, so I will stick with the green. That's my rule number 1. I can add more rules. So if the number is less than 50, fill it red. In our case, nothing is red. We can also add a rule when the number is kind of between. So I can now make another rule, so the number is between 79 and 51. In that case, it will be yellow. And with those 3 rules, all of the scores for tests are highlighted correctly. So everything up 80 and above is green, from 79 to 51, that's yellow, and then below 50%, that will be red. And if I add more rows, I can extend those rules. So I can always go back to cell and go to highlighting rules. I can extend them. If you don't want to use the rule anymore, you can click this little trash bin icon here. Delete that. If you want one rule to be more important than another, you can move the rule above, this way. Alright, so that's how you do it. Simply select the range or the whole column. Go to Format. Be sure you are in the cell, not table, not text, the cell area, conditional highlighting, and then create rules. The rules will highlight certain cells automatically. So the rules can be based on numbers, text, date, duration, or cell properties. So if the cell is not blank, there's something in it, make it blue text. Very quick. Let me show you how you can change the page color in upper numbers for your Mac. First thing to do in your spreadsheet is to click outside, so be sure nothing's selected. Then you will simply see the background color here in the format section on the right. This way you can quickly change it. Of course, some elements may have their own backdrop color. So if I select this chart here, I will be able to modify the color just for this chart. Be sure the chart formatting is selected, head to background, and from here you can set up a separate color fill just for this area. Same for your table here. The best way of doing that for table is to select all of the cells in the range, go to the cell, and this way you can change the fill color for multiple cells in one click. Let's make them dark red. Here it is. Alright, so that's how you can change colors of different elements. The most important one is the backdrop around everything. So just be sure you click outside, and then you can select the color for that. Let me show you how you can create a 3D graph in Numbers for your Mac. Select the data from your table, then head to Chart option at the top. From here, move from 2D to 3D style. Keep in mind there are arrows that you can click to see more default colors. Alright, let's go with the colorful one. I will select this one here. And as you can see, I got 3D style chart, and I can control the angle of those 3D objects, how they are displayed. Take a look, and the chart is adjusting. We can select some color presets here, or we can modify colors ourselves. If you want to change the data range of your chart, click on Edit Data Reference, when you can reselect what will be on the chart. In addition, you got a 3D Scene Controller here on the right in the Format section. When you can change the appearance of the chart, you can modify the lighting style, where the light will be, where the shadow will be casted, and of course this rotation that we showed before, you can also change that here. We got gaps that we can create between those layers, and we can decide on shadows. We can even switch shadows off. Alright, so that's how you create a 3D graph, 3D chart in Numbers for your Mac. Let me show you how you can set up certain numbers as currency in Numbers on your Mac. So here I am, I got this price column, so I can select my prices, or I can select the whole column by clicking on the letter B. So select the range you want to change, and then on the right side in the Format section, move from Table to Cell. And from here you can set your data format from the automatic one to currency. And with currency selected, we can decide on decimals, and we can also decide on what currency you want to highlight. As you can see, there are all of them here, so you can just find the one you need. Let's go with US dollar. Here it is, and now you can also decide how many zeros you see after the dot using this window here. And you can also decide how you will show negative numbers. So that's also something we can set up from here. You can turn on accounting style, then the currency symbol move to the left, and the negative numbers will be shown in those brackets. Alright, so that's how you can set up a certain number as the currency, and that's how you can change it to a different currency in Numbers on your Mac. Let me show you how you can multiply in Apple numbers on your Mac. So here I am, I got some numbers in my first column A, and in the column B I want those numbers to be multiplied by 3. I can set up myself here in the B2 and start typing equals, then I select A2 asterisk 3. Now I click OK. Now I got the value of the column A times 3, so 3 become 9. I now can drag this down for the whole column. Simply search for this yellow point, click on it and drag it all the way down. And now all of the values from column A are multiplied by 3 in the column B. Alright, that's one way of doing that. Of course, we could multiply one column times another. In that case, type equals, select one value, and again asterisk, another value. Click OK. Now I got 3 times 9. And the same trick, I can drag this whole formula down, just hover your mouse until the yellow points appear, drag it down. Perfect. That's how easy it is to multiply numbers in Numbers for your Mac. Let me show you how you can break a long text to a brand new line in Numbers for your Mac. So the good news is the warping is turned on by default, so even the text is too long, it's warping down and breaking randomly. We can switch this off here, and as you can see, actually this is just long text, one line. If the cell is wide enough, it will move into one long line. So even with warping on. So how can I manually break this text down? If you go in the middle and just press enter, you will simply move to the next cell. So the trick is to hold Option and then press enter. So two buttons together, two keys in the same time. And this way you can manually move this to the next line. Not just enter, Option, enter, Option, return. And this way you can make this stiff break here. Force the text into next line. Keep in mind, it's still warping, so you may consider switching warp off. This way this cell will always look the same. Let me show you how we can count how many times certain text appears in your table in Numbers for Mac. So here I am, and in my table on the second column somebody typed yes, yes, yes next to certain numbers. I want to know how many of those yeses do I have in total. For that I can create a formula here at the bottom. Start by equal sign, then you can type count if. That's the formula you need. If you got troubles typing this in, you can also search for it here on the list on the right side. So count if, click on that, and now you can select test array. So you select the whole column and the condition. So the condition is our text yes. So quotes, yes, end of the quote, and now confirm with the OK. And from now on, this will be searching for yes. So if I type no, nothing changed here. But if I type yes, it's +1 to this bottom row. All right, so that's how you can do it. Simply use the formula called count if, select the range, and then type the word that you are searching for. Let me show you how you can warp your text inside a cell in Numbers for your Mac. So what you can see here, there are two ways. So in the top way, the text is not warping down, it's simply heading for the next empty cell. But if we type in something here, the text will be cutted like this and we cannot see the whole text. Solution to that is to be sure that the warping is turned on. So select the cell with the long text, head to the right to the format menu, and here you need to change to text, not table, not cell, but text. And it's a simple checkbox here, warp text, and the text will warp down and make this cell taller, you can say. Also, you can do it all the way back. We can switch this off, and the text is not warping, is not pushing another cell down. Alternatively, you can try to also make the whole column wider, and this way you can show more text. All right, so just remember, warping settings are here in the text menu on the right. It's a checkbox, turn it on, and in that case, if the cell is too small, it will move the text to another line. Let me show you how you can delete unwanted rows from your tables in Numbers for your Mac. Be sure the correct table is selected. If you simply want to delete some rows from the bottom, the easiest way is to just click on this indicator for rows here on the left and just push it up. And unwanted rows will simply disappear. This can be done also from the menu on the right. When you got number of rows, if you reduce this number, currently 14, the rows from the bottom will disappear. Same way you can add new rows. Alright, how we can delete certain rows from the middle. So let's say I want to delete this row number 9 exactly. In that case, make sure you click on the number of the row, and then you will see this little menu, the little arrow down. Click the arrow down and you will see option just for this row. And as you can see, there's option to delete the entire row. Click on that and row number 9 is gone. We'll still see the number 9 here because all of the rows will move up. But as you can see, the content, the XXX disappeared. You can do the same action with like 3 rows. So I'm holding Shift, selecting multiple rows, and then opening this menu. So I just need to hold Shift to be sure multiple rows are selected. And now the option is called delete selected rows, so more than one. Gone. All of those rows are gone, and again the numbering is okay because everything else moves up. So that's how you can delete unwanted rows from your table. From the bottom, simply use this. In the middle at the top, you must click on this extra menu here. I hope this was helpful. See you in the next one.